If you are interested in making 3 gorgeous loaves of bread like this, step into my beginner's bread baking number 2, because this is what we did and this is what you can do. And I'm in the kitchen right now and I am very prepared to teach you how to do it. Come join me. Good morning, it's Grandma Roseanne, and we are going to go into beginner's bread episode 2. Because if you did the first loaf and you loved it, we're going to do a similar recipe, not the same recipe, a similar recipe, and it's going to make 3 loaves. It takes as much time, you guys, to do 3 loaves as it does to do 1. So considering that they freeze beautifully, and I'm sure many of you have friends that would love it if you took over a loaf of bread that was homemade by you, or you were able to just serve it warm to your family for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Everyone's gonna love it, and it'll freeze well. It'll freeze well. Again, set up your iPad or your phone and just follow through with me. This is a no-fail way of doing this. We're going to start out with 4 cups of water. Put your finger in, warm enough to feed it to a baby, good enough for you to use. We're going to put in 2 tablespoons of yeast, 1 teaspoon of sugar. Sugar and yeast are really good buddies. They like each other a lot. Just give it a little stir just to help it along. And we're gonna let it sit there until it proofs. And if you remember from the last video, or maybe if you're brand new, what you're going to do is just let it sit for about 10 minutes. And you're proving that your yeast is active, because if it's not, you don't want to find out 3 hours from now. You want to find out right now. And the way you're going to know it's active and alive is that it's going to start bubbling along the sides. If you let this just stay, it would bubble its way all the way over. We're not going to let it stay that long, obviously. All right, 10 minutes off to the side. Now, just so you'll have everything ready, I have 12 cups of bread flour. The recipe calls for between 10 and 12. I don't believe we're going to use that much, but I like to be prepared for what the recipe calls for. We've got 1/3 cup of honey, and if you will put just a spray into your cup before you put your honey in, the release is much easier. 1/3 cup of oil, and I'm just using a canola oil. So while that yeast is getting itself going, we're going to put in, I'm going to start out with 5 cups of flour. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to count them out loud, you guys, because I realize I can't talk to you and count at the same time and be accurate. Can't do it. Just as a heads up, you don't have to make 3 loaves. You can make 2 loaves, and then the 3rd measurement of dough, cut that up and make some dinner rolls with it. And any size you decide is fine. I like them when I get the dough to be like maybe about the size of a, I don't know. What would that be? Like a tangerine? About that size. And typically it'll make 12 of them. Put it into a 9 by 11 or into any sort of a baking vessel. I let them stay close together and then they rise beautifully. So if you want to make dinner rolls for your family and yourself, or you want to make all 3 loaves of bread, entirely up to you. Now, I want you to take a look at what is happening to the yeast here. Oh, I hope you can see that. Can you see how that's starting to bubble all the way around? That's telling us that it is active and it is good. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with this. I'm going to put all of the liquid, all of the yeast into my mixing bowl. Now I am going to use the stand mixer. If you don't have one, don't stress about it, because you can still do this just fine using just a hand method, so don't worry about that. I'm putting the oil in, and the honey. Now I am going to give my mixer a little bit of a help here. I'm just going to mix it in like this, just because I don't want the mixer to have to work so hard, and I want to make sure that there's no flour on the bottom, so it'll be easier to incorporate it. Very loose dough right now, very loose batter. Okay, I think we did a good job on that, guys. Now I've got 5 in there now. I'm going to add 1 more cup. I'm going to do it in increments of 1 cup. So that is 6. And I'm using my paddle right now, because right now I'm still mixing, I'm not kneading. And I had to write it down because I will start talking and I will forget. Seven. You don't want to do that. Good Lord. Eight. I will be more careful this time. I wasn't more careful this time. I'm trying. Now I want you to watch this, because I'm going to lower the bowl while it's on a low speed, because I want to make sure that everything that is stuck into the beater is allowed to release. Okay. 9. Now I'm scared. Ah. Oh God. I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm not. I am a disaster. 10. I'm going to try to put it way to the bottom of the bowl. That might be better. Now, I will tell you, every chef out there would just stop this right now, throw it away, start over, so that you knew that they did it with perfection. I'm telling you, this is the way grandmas cook, and this is sometimes going to happen to you too. So just live with it. It's fun. All right, so we put 9 in there. I'm going to try a half. Because right now it's still very, very, very sticky, as it should be, but it's pulling away from the side of the bowl, which is what we're looking for. I got flour in my nose. Jeez Louise. Oh, now for our dough right now, I think that 10.5 is perfect for us. I need to clean up a little bit. Give me a minute. Jeez. I'm quite sure I have a half a cup on the counter. Oh. All right. Do you see how the dough is? It's still very, very sticky, but that's exactly what we want. So what I'm going to do is get the paddle out of it right now. put this back on my mixer. And I'm gonna put the dough hook in. If you don't have a dough hook, you can knead this by hand, okay? You don't have to have these gadgets in order to do it. But if you have them, use them for heaven's sakes. They're really time savers. Now we're going to knead this for 10 minutes. And during that 10 minutes, I'm gonna mop my floor. What I want to tell you is that I'm going to turn my oven on to 200 degrees. I'm gonna leave it there for just maybe 3 minutes. Shut it off. Don't forget to shut it off. But I just want that to be a little bit warmer. And I'm going to put my bowl in there as well, so that will heat. Every little bit helps our bread. Did you shut your oven off? Be sure to shut it off. My bowl is really warm now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to coat it with just a nice little layer of olive oil. Now this is why I have to set a timer, because honestly, I will tell you, I thought 10 minutes had already passed. I just checked my timer. It's only been 5 minutes of kneading. So if you're good with time and you don't need to set a timer, I'll give you all the credit in the world, because I have to set timers. This is when you ask yourself, is there anything that Grandma did that I couldn't do? Was there any step so incredibly difficult that I couldn't handle that step? And the answer to that is absolutely no. Everything I did, you can do. Hopefully you won't make a mess of the flour like I did, but other than that little misstep right there, everything we have done, a child could do. I know you can do it. I know you can. This makes the best sandwich bread, and it makes the best toast. Okay, we are at our 10 minutes. Now we need just to get this whole ball of dough out of here. Alexa, stop. Oh, need some muscle here. Well, probably if I did this, life could be a lot easier for me. Yeah, what do you know? A little bit of oil does wonders. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on my counter. And I just want to just kind of get this into a nice ball. Oh my goodness, you guys, this dough is beautiful. Ah. After you make dough for a while, after you make bread for a while, you'll be able to feel your dough and you're going to know, oh, this is going to be exceptional. All right. It goes in our bowl. Now I'm going to cover it tightly with some plastic wrap. And it's going to go into my warm oven until it doubles, and that should take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. But when people say, oh, it takes so long to bake bread, oh, you've got to be there all day, you don't have to babysit it. Honestly, you don't. All you have to do is go on with your life. Now, I'm putting it into the cold oven, or the warm oven rather. I'm going to go to the store because I'm going to do some interesting recipes today. I'm doing a pear pan roasted vinaigrette salad, which will be delicious. And I'm going to do a surprise video, which I don't know what it's all about yet, but you'll know when you see it. Anyway, so I go on with my life while this is doing what it's doing. We don't have to stay here and watch it. Nothing's going to happen to it. So I will see you in an hour. In that hour, while I'm gone working, you might want to subscribe if you had fun, and I hope you did. So while my bread was rising, I went to the store because I'm going to make all kinds of good things for you today. But look at the gorgeous roses I got. Aren't they beautiful? Okay, back to baking. It's been an hour and look at our bread. It is fantastic. And if you're stuck to the top like mine did, don't worry about it. Just pull it off. Now, take your hand in there, and we want to get in there. I need a little bit of oil. We want to knock the air out of it. So we're going to push it all the way down. Put a little bit of oil on my counter. And we want to get it out of this container. You don't have to be gentle with this loaf. When you're making artesian loaves, and you guys, if you want to know how to do that on a beginner's series, I'll show you how to do that because it's super, super easy. But that one, you want to keep the air bubbles in there. This one, you don't. So you can be a little bit rough with it. Oh, wow. This is absolutely beautiful dough. Oh, I want to get it. I hope by now you're kind of saying, well, maybe I should invest in a scale. It's not a big investment. But if you really want to make delicious pastries, if you really want to make wonderful breads, cooking, you can kind of just throw it all together. Baking's pretty precise. We're going to cut this into thirds. And because they're baking at the same time, I want them to be about the same weight. So the cooking time's the same. And I'm not a good judge of that, so we are going to do a little bit of measuring. That's 1/16. That's 1/11. We're going to pull some of there, put it over here. Now this is 1/13. Oh, this is way light. This is 1/6. Okay, each one of my loaves is 1 pound 9 ounces. Now, if you don't have a scale, just do your best. Try to feel that they're about the same size. I always keep the wrappers from my butter because they are perfect for greasing your pans. And if you are going to do this and only have this in there, you want to be greasing it really well. I'm going to put a liner in here so I don't have to be as careful with greasing it, but I do want it greased a little bit. Okay, we will put our prepared pans to the side. I showed you guys how to do this on another video. It's pretty slick, actually. And I did all 3 of these at the same time. Now you have your lined pan. Pretty easy, wasn't it? If you need a better description of how to do that, I did a video on it, so you can go look at that. There. All right, now working with one dough at a time, and I keep the others covered because I really do want them to not dry out on me. Now we're going to dapple, and what you're doing now is you are stretching out your dough, getting all those air bubbles out. Remember, we're not making an artesian loaf. We're making a sandwich loaf. You don't have to be gentle with this dough at all. You just need to be aware of the width of your pan because you cannot exceed that. You need to stay within that dimension. But just kind of work it, just like that. You almost can't go wrong here. Isn't this fun? It's fun. All right, I think we're good there. Now you're going to roll it, and here you want to roll it tight. So roll it and pull it into yourself. And then bring the last flap up, and then pinch it, just like that. Roll it over a few times so that the top of your bread is pretty. And then just pop it into your prepared pan. Just like that. Be sure you put your seam side down. Look at our beauties. Aren't they gorgeous? Oh, these are going to be so good, you guys. All right, now we're going to let them rise, but we're going to put a little butter on the top, or oil, whatever you like. I like the flavor of the butter, so I'm going to melt a little bit of butter and put it on the top. So I'm just going to baste this. So it'll have that really nice glow to it. It'll be that beautiful brown when we pull it out. It'll be nice toasty looking, and it'll taste delicious. All right. Now I set my oven at 350 degrees. These are going to rise, so I'm not going to put them in my oven, obviously. So I want them to be at least double. So I'm going to cover them with some plastic wrap. I'm going to spray some oil on the plastic wrap. Let me just show you rather than tell you. Now with the plastic wrap down here, I'm just going to spray it with some of this spray. And then I'm going to just lay it over the top of it. So with the butter on the loaf and the spray on the plastic wrap, we should be fairly safe that it's not going to stick. My oven is set at 350 degrees. The loaves are going to sit on my counter, and I'm going to let them go into a second rise. Now I will let them go at least 30, 35, 40 minutes, or until they're doubled and they're the size that I think I would like to pop them in the oven. I will show you that as we get there, okay? This has been pretty easy, you have to agree. Just a little side note. These flowers cost me $13. They will give me pleasure for a week. I absolutely love them. I love the green tint. I love the fragrance. if I were to go out and buy 3 loaves of bread at $6 or $7 a loaf is what we pay for it here. With tax, $25 easy. Easy, easy $25. We made all that bread probably for $5, 3 loaves for $5. I deserve these. We saved money over there. We can do beautiful things for our life over here. It's a good trade-off, I think. All right, moving along. My bread has risen for about 45 minutes, and look at that. It's just nicely over the top of the loaf pan. That's what I was looking for. So I'm gonna pop it in the oven. My oven has been heating at 350 for 45 minutes, and I'm gonna pop it in. It's going to cook for 30 minutes. I will be back, and you, I hope, are doing it with me because you are going to be loving the fragrance in your home. All right, we're going to do our taste test because I think it's important for you to know we have made a great product. So, first slice. Do you guys like the ends? I love the ends. Oh, the crumb on this is fantastic. You see that? Really, really, really good. All right, I think I need a little bit of butter. It's very soft. Nice sandwich bread. Perfect. It is really delicious. When you take a look at what we've done here, as cost effective as these 3 loaves were, and honestly, they were no time at all to make, and they turned out absolutely delicious. I think we have a winner with this recipe, you guys. So don't forget to put in that tablespoon of salt where my camera glitched. Don't forget to put that in. And other than that, you guys have a wonderful weekend. This is Friday for us. It's the end of our week, and give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell, and I hope you enjoyed Beginner's Baking number 2. Bye.